Today I want to talk about pivot table layouts and specifically how to use pivot table defaults to help create the tables that you want. 3 things about pivot tables that drive me crazy and probably you too. Each time you insert a pivot table, it sets it up as compact form with the labels not repeating and with subtotals. You can easily change this now in the pivot table defaults. But first, let me introduce myself. I'm Anita, and my goal is to provide information that helps you work smarter. This video will show you how to change the defaults for pivot tables. So let's get started. Let's take a look at this data table I have, and I'm going to insert a pivot table so you can see what happens with the original defaults. So if I insert a pivot table, I'm going to do it into an existing worksheet I have set up here. You can see when I select all these values to come into my pivot table that it sets this up in compact form. So all my labels are in column A. I want it to be tabular form, so I'm going to copy this over so you can see it side by side. Normally I would just change this table, but I'm going to copy it so that you can see it, see what happens. So when I go in to change that setting into report layout and I change it to tabular form, that's great. It took the column A and it put it into 3 columns. So it gives me my data in the format I can use, but still not exactly what I want. I really want it to have all the labels repeated so that I can use that data. So to do that, I would have to go into the settings again. So I would go to design, report layout, repeat all item labels. So that gets my labels repeating, which is great, but still not really concise like I want it. So one more step and it'll be in a format I can use. If I go into design, into subtotals, do not show subtotals, and then it will give me a table that is useful for analysis that has all the labels repeated on each row that I can use for other purposes. But I don't really want to have to go through those 3 steps every time I insert a pivot table. So to solve that, we can change our defaults. So let's take a look at that. If we go into File, Options, Data, Edit Default Layout, under Report Layout, I can select Tabular Form, and I can click or select them to repeat all item labels. I could select on Do Not Show Subtotals. Hit OK. Hit OK once again, and it saved those defaults for me. So let's go insert a pivot table again. Same data set. I'm going to insert pivot table to a new worksheet, select all my fields, and it comes out exactly as I wanted it the first time around. So that is what I was really trying to get to when I was changing the table here. So by changing the defaults, it initially created that tabular table with repeating labels and no subtotals for me. So if you take a look at those defaults again, you can see that you can reset them to the Excel default, the original defaults, if you need to. We'll hold these until you come in here and change them again. So that's the good part of it. It'll be there each time you go into an Excel. But if you need to reset it, you can reset it right here. Also take a look at all the other things out here that you can do, including if you go to this pivot table option, there are some things here that you can change defaults on. So lots of helpful information. So hopefully that will help you to be able to use pivot tables in a more efficient manner going forward. So if you have any questions on this or other Excel functionality, please enter them in the comments below, and I will look for an answer to share here or on a future video. If you found this information helpful, please like the video below and subscribe to my channel to be notified when I share more helpful tips. I've also put a link to my website below where you can sign up to receive my future newsletter with tips and great information. Thank you. Have a blessed day. See you again soon with more tips to help you work smarter. Thank you.